from IIT Kanpur in 1983. And from 1983 to 1985, he was a research associate in the Electrical Engineering Department, University of Manitoba, Winnipeg, Canada. And then for the next 6 years, he was an assistant professor in the Electrical Engineering Department, University of North Dakota, Grand Forks, USA. And since 1991, he has been at IIT Bombay, or is it Mumbai? IIT Mumbai.
It's IIT Bombay.
Just still IIT.
Yes.
We'll have to let Mr. Thackeray know something about that. He is at IIT Bombay, where he is currently a professor in the Electrical Engineering Department. And he has written more than 200 papers in the international and national journals and conference proceedings. He is also an author of a book titled Broadband Microstrip Antennas, which was published by Artec House, USA. He is also chairman of the company Wilcom Technologies Private Limited, which is an IIT Bombay incubated company. So it was born and kind of nurtured in IIT. Wilcom has developed more than 100 products, such as mobile phone jammers, signal enhancers, radiation shields, antennas, power dividers, couplers, filters, amplifiers, and many more. So Professor Girish Kumar has been doing research on cell tower radiation for the past 10 years. I woke up to it 2 years ago, and you people are waking up today. And he has given many presentations on cell tower radiation hazards. So let's welcome Professor. Oh, sorry. Dr. Piramal, Swati Piramal here wants to have a word about. She wants to share something. So please.
I met Professor Girish Kumar 3 years ago, and my office is the most fancy office in town because it has glass on all four sides. And just opposite us is the cell tower nucleus of Airtel and also Vodafone, both together. And we are also in Worli, so which is Worli Tower, Worli TV tower is also there. And I did not realize, I asked Neha and Professor Kumar to just measure the radiation in our office. I don't know why I did that, but we did that. And to my horror, I found that the worst radiation was in my own office. Because I was in a location which had all the three towers together. The problem Anand mentioned was one tower. But when you put 3, 4, 5, 6 together, that's when they all multiply and synergize. And the amount of radiation as the cell phone usage goes up, goes like that, like a rocket. So, and I did not know then, but I suspect now that some of the health problems I've had in the last 5 years, because my desk was right in the center of the radiation. And it's silent, you don't realize it. And so I asked Leah and Marek to help me form a shield. And I think now all buildings in Bombay should have a shield. And those of us which are not new buildings, which are old buildings, should definitely shield your own house, first measure it and shield it. The point that why I spoke before is because I wanted to share that as a scientist, I looked at the numbers, I looked at them carefully. I was not overtaken by just somebody making some few research. I looked at it all over the world. And I met the chairman of Vodafone recently at Monza Racing Circuit last week. So I said, Vittorio, your cell tower radiation is too high in my office. I said to him. He said, oh, no, we are all the same. We follow the international rules, and India is much higher than the rest of the world. And so, I think that this whole sort of illiteracy that we have of what are the standards, what's the best, we really don't know. Our country does not know. And I think Professor Kumar has done a great job of being that really pioneer in trying to establish what are the standards, what should we be doing, how far should that be from your house, do you have children at home? And so those kind of things as a public health specialist really concern me. And I'm happy to say that he and Neha helped me so much. And I walk around the whole city with this counter. And the worst is, Anand so beautifully pointed out, I have these two big cell towers. The worst radiation was from the Chawl opposite, which had not one, it had 12 towers. Because they would make money on the 12 towers. So this Chawl, where people are staying, young kids, because they don't know better, have more radiation than these big towers. Which you showed me actually in that measurement. I just wanted to say before we start, they really did have.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here to see a lot of people around here. Thank you very much, Rich Chapter, and thank you very much for such a nice introduction. I do have a presentation here, so we will have a sight and sound kind of a presentation here.
Oh, can we have the lights turn down so that we can see your presentation better?
Okay. While this thing happened, thank you, Dr. Gokhani, to make something simpler for me. But let me just start with, before we have this thing ready, just press on the. So let's say the cell phone, which is so close to us. We are keeping this cell phone right next to our heart, right? And suddenly people have started telling us it is harmful, right? Something which is so good, so beautiful, made our life so fantastic. We could communicate with so many people at the same time, and suddenly these older people have started telling you that it is harmful, right? Well, let me start with a different demo, okay? Let me just try to make a call, because now you know how the connections happen. He has explained very beautifully. So let me just make a simple call first, and let me just show you what it can do. Can you see the slide growing?
Yes, now, and then it goes away.
This light is glowing without any battery. So there is so much radiation coming from here, and what it has an antenna which receives the signal, and then that signal is actually rectified. Just like in a home, we convert AC signal to DC. So we get a DC voltage, and that DC voltage is more than 2 volts to turn on this LED. So you can imagine what happens, and I don't like to keep it close to my heart, so I'm going to keep it far away from me. As said, you keep it at a far away from me. Let's start formal presentation. I will also do the similar thing. I first talk about cell phone, and then I talk about cell tower. We'll tell you pluses, minuses of everything. Every technology has pluses and minuses, and overuse of any technology is going to be bad. So let's see what really we have. So I talked about cell phone tower, and you can see all those health hazards which are associated with cell tower radiation. Next please. Someone? Okay, so we start with the cell phone and tower statistics. How many cell phones are there? How many towers are there in our country? What really happens? So already you know a little bit about microwave heating principle, so I'll go through it very quickly. So what is the radiation pattern of cell tower antenna? It's really important to know what is the radiation pattern, in which direction you are getting more radiation, in which direction you get less radiation, and then we will look into what are the safety norms. Are we safe or are we not safe? And then we look into, we have done measurements now at more than 1,000 places. And we have found very strong correlation between the health problem at the radiation level. And then we'll review quickly some of the biological effects. Some of them have already been covered by Dr. Gokhani. And then we'll go with the solution. It is my definition of an engineer. Engineers are born to solve problems, right? Alright, because I'm an engineer, so I must say something about my profession. But just think about it. See, there were no phones. Who developed mobile phone? Ultimately engineers, right? And when there is a problem, who will solve the problem? Ultimately engineers, right? So we have the responsibility to solve the problem. We also create problem, right?
Yeah.
And then we solve the problem, right? Okay, so let's see. So in the population of 1.2 plus billion, I added plus because while I'm talking to you, already few children have born already, okay? So we are really growing very fast. We have more than 900 million mobile phone users, and again, by the time I'm talking, a few more connections have already been done, okay? And of course, to meet that, we need towers. So we have 5 lakh towers in the country. Let's just look into the next one. So microwave radiation already mentioned about. So when microwave energy impinges on human body consists of 70% liquid, brain 90% liquid. So what happens when microwave energy comes? These molecules start vibrating, and you know how fast they vibrate? 900 million times per second. You can imagine something vibrating at 900 million times per second. What's going to happen those things? There will be a lot of friction, and that friction will lead to heat. That's how you cook microwave food. So thermal and non-thermal effect. Of course, non-thermal effect, that vibration causes damage to the DNA, it causes damage to all the tissues which are present, and hence it creates problem. So let's start with this. When you use mobile phone, let's just have a quick thing. We have some children back there. So if you have used mobile phone for 15-20 minutes, have you noticed your ear gets warm? How many of you? Alright, many of you, right? So, I mean, he has already explained, but let me also say what really happens. A lot of time people say, well, there is no heat going through, there is nothing, but there is a microwave radiation. That radiation impinges on the earlobe. It's the blood inside the earlobe which is getting heated up. And it actually heats up to almost 100 degree Fahrenheit. So that means what is really happening, you have a 98.4. Every time you use for 20 minutes or so, you have a 100-degree fever, okay? And since we have a lot of ladies here, so let me just say, so if you like to be a hot lady, okay, and literally speaking hot, okay, so you are actually having a fever right over here, and you can use it. And by the way, a lot of other things also happen. So this phone which is next to it, there is a skin. So skin will start getting dried up. So you will need more moisturizer later on, okay, or you will start looking older faster. Then it also eyes. So eyes, basically there is no movement of the liquid. So eyes start getting dried up. Then of course it penetrates, it starts cooking the brain. Unfortunately, brain doesn't know when it is cooking or not, okay, because God makes sensor at the skin. So if you feel something hot, brain knows that it is heating up. But if the brain is getting cooked, it doesn't know it is getting cooked. So that's the difference between the this. So what really happened, we have already here. So if it starts with warm sensation, then it goes to irreversible hearing loss and ear tumor. And I have interacted with a lot of ENT specialists. And I even talked to the children who actually developed ear tumor of this size and even developed partial hearing loss to full hearing loss. So we have been interacting. In fact, once actually I talked to some of these children. I said, would you like to come on the TV? They all got very excited. So I said, okay, you please check with your parents. If they allow you, I'll talk to the TV people and then they can come. You know what? Not even one parent agreed that their children should come on the TV because they don't want that the entire country should know that their child is deaf by 1 year. And their main concern was who will marry them. Okay, so as a parents, we are so much concerned about the marriage part, so they don't want to tell the problem. And the second other thing is our social thing. I mean, you know that the way children